Hi, my name's Gertrude, and I'm going to be guiding you through interview skills and techniques. Whether you've got an interview coming up tomorrow or one coming up in a few weeks, I will help you to prepare. Now, an interview is as much for you, the interviewee, as it is for the interviewer. It's an opportunity for you to find out about the organisation and the job, and for the interviewer to find out about you as a person to see if you're suitable. In today's session, we will be finding out what the best ways are to prepare for a job, some information on first impressions, interview questions, interviewing the interviewer, how to make a good impression, some information about your body language, and the do's and don'ts during an interview. Now, preparation for an interview is the key. You may want to think about your experience, strengths, and weaknesses, and your personal preferences. Don't forget to research the company. Go onto the internet, look at literature. If it's a shop or an organisation, see if you can go in and see what they actually sell and what they actually do. Don't forget to look at the job description very carefully. Do you have the skills to do the job? Don't forget, we often apply for many jobs at any one time, and sometimes we may get overwhelmed and forget which interview we're actually going for. So do look at the job description. Don't forget to tailor your CV to suit the job description. Emphasise your skills that are relevant to the job. And don't forget to create a list of job-related questions which may help during your interview. Typical questions can include: tell me something about yourself. What are your goals and where would you like to be in 5 years' time? And why should we hire you? What is unique about you? Be prepared to answer these questions. Get your friends to help you the night before. Now, first impressions are very, very important when going to an interview. It is often said that an employer will make up their mind about you in the first 30 seconds of meeting you. Generally, it's advised that you should dress smartly and reasonably conservatively, depending on the type of job that you're going for. For guys, a white shirt or a pale shirt, a tie, smart trousers, black shoes and a jacket would be sufficient. However, don't make the mistake of going in a hoodie or baseball cap or wearing white trainers or white shoes. Go dressed to impress. For the females out there, a nice length skirt, which preferably goes up to your knees. Also a blouse or a jacket, a nice jumper if you have one. Again, go dressed to impress. Make sure your high heels aren't too high and you don't wear too much makeup. It all makes the difference. Now, arriving at an interview can be quite nerve-wracking. Do try and give a firm handshake. Once is enough, but make sure you give eye contact, smile and introduce yourself courteously. Never show anxiety or boredom. Never look at your watch or discuss contentious issues. Ask about benefits, salary, holidays, or assume a submissive role. Treat the interviewer with respect, but as an equal. In the first few minutes, try to avoid slouching or sitting defensively with your arms and legs crossed, as this creates a negative impression. Now the meaty bit. Interview questions. There are 4 types of interview questions that we often get asked during interviews. I will guide you through the first one. The first type of interview questions include selling yourself. Here you need to suggest ways of answering questions that are good opportunities to mention your strengths and your good attributes. Don't ever mention anything negative. The second type of question is information giving. This suggests ways of answering questions that are looking directly for information on your experience and your skill set. Why should you be given the job? The third type of question is dealing with objections. This gives suggestions for satisfactory asking questions in direct objections. I don't know if that makes sense. However, in layman's terms, if you're asked a question and you feel like you're going to be giving a negative answer, always try and turn it around to be positive, because it will always work in your favour. And finally, the fourth type of question is a stress buster. Here you can provide examples of answers that can diffuse potentially stressful questions. Questions which may put you on the spot or make you feel a bit nervous. Now, interviewing the interviewer. This may seem a little strange, however, like we said at the beginning, an interview is as much for you, the interviewee, as it is for the interviewer. Now, you may want to ask questions to the employer throughout the interview, depending on how the interview is laid out. You could ask the following questions. What sort of responsibility the job entails? How often your performance is reviewed and details on any bonus schemes? And questions related to training and development opportunities. This shows that you have an interest in their company and in their job. Also, significant questions to ask about the job, if the employer has not covered them already, is why has the job become vacant? The employer might tell you that they've created a new position, that the last person left, or whatever the circumstances may be. This can be a good and a bad question to ask, so I'll leave that to you. Another question that you may want to ask is, how do you review performance? If it's a performance-related job relating to targets, you may want the employer to go into detail. Another question is, what training will be available? Now, we all get a little anxious as to whether training is available when we all start a new job, but it's nice to be clear about what training is being offered. Now, making an impression. Making an impression is one of the most important parts of a job interview, but you want to make a good impression and not a bad impression. Key points to remember during the interview will include: make sure you give the interviewer your full attention, wait for them to finish speaking before you answer the question, make sure you ask open questions to ensure you get full answers, and check you understand everything that has been said, as there's nothing worse than not being clear. At the end of an interview, you may want to find out what the procedure is after the interview. When will you be expected to hear from the interviewer? How will you be informed? Over the phone, via email? It's always good to ask. Do you need any more information from me? So they may need further documents, further clarification. It's always good to ask. Also, is there anyone else that you should speak to? Sometimes when you're going for an interview with more than one person, people are given different job roles, so it's always good to ask if there's anyone else that you can speak to. Now, tips on an effective expression include being enthusiastic, speaking with confidence and being clear, being positive with your answers, and keeping to the point and being mindful of time. There's nothing worse than waffling on for 20 minutes and then realising that really you didn't answer the question. And always try to be honest and open. Your body language is also another important part of an interview. A smile is the most positive signal that you can give. It reaffirms your enthusiasm and good nature. Don't smile too much, as you may look like you've forgotten to take your medication. However, smile intently, relax, give attentive eye contact. Again, don't slump in your chair. Adjust your position slightly if you feel uncomfortable, but do try not to fidget. Some interesting facts about employers and interviews. Employers take note of 70% of your body language and image, 20% of your tone of voice, and 10% of what you actually say, which you may or may not agree with. However, it's all in good fun. Now, to round up, do's and don'ts during the interview. Now remember, whether the interview is one-to-one or with a panel, you'll always want to address the following points. Always adopt a professional and business-like manner. Listen intently. Use positive language. Do ask relevant questions and wear a smile at all times, but not too much. Don't fidget or play with your hair or clothing or items in your pocket. Don't forget to turn off your mobile phone and remain calm and don't rush your answers. Now, I hope that helped. Good luck if you are attending an interview or if you have an interview coming up. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask a member of our team. Thank you very much and goodbye.